What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about why I'm here, my story, why you're here, your story, setting some goals, deciding how to fucking get there, and then we'll get into some TA. Let's get it. Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Nomad Luca. So just getting started, and the first thing I wanted to attack was why I'm here, and just to connect with you guys a little bit. And for the new people that are in the group, for example, we've got friends of friends joining the group now, and friends of friends of friends. That's fine, it's totally fine. I don't like to go too many friends of friends of friends down, because then you end up getting God knows whose brothers, sisters, cats, dog, whatever. But it's cool. Happy to grow the group as big as possible. And of course, I'm going to move very shortly over to YouTube, and I'm just going to post those YouTube videos in the group. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, back to what I wanted to speak about was why I'm here. Okay, so first of all, why am I doing this? Number one, I'm ready to get a new income stream into my income stream pool, okay, which is what we'll talk about later. How many income streams you have. So it'll be another income stream for me, aka doing YouTube. I've already got a ridiculous amount of people asking me to go and tutor them. Unfortunately, I've said no to basically everybody just yet, simply because I want to be at the best self I can be before I go and teach people about it, and get a bit more experience. But I will soon. I want to develop a course and a little training program, the 101s of how to get started, hence why the group is called Lucas Trading Mates 101. It started with 3 girls I met at Acro Yoga that wanted to join, that wanted to know about what I do. So I said, all right, I'll create a group and throw some content in there for you and see how it goes. Next minute, 12 people. Next minute, I just posted it on my Instagram, and we're at 130 as we stand. Well, I'm standing anyway. So it's cool. It's going good. Let's see how we go. Again, I'm just a drunk ninja with it as well. I don't really know what I'm doing with the whole YouTube and getting this group going, but if you guys are liking the content, give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, all that shit. And yeah. So back to why I'm here. So I want to do this as number one, income stream, of course. Second one for me. Number two, I have a lot of friends that have been asking me for years, Luca, what are you doing? Where's all your money? Why do you keep talking about this stocks thing? And, why are you on your computer all day? Because believe it or not, I've turned into a fucking nerd. Yes, I have. I feel like I have not been a nerd my entire life. I mean, I barely finished high school, and then I decided to go to university, just as a bit of a background story. So I went and did commerce at uni. I did a finance degree, and marketing, double major, and then I fucked off to Latin America, which was the best thing I ever did. So with that knowledge, I was trading my entire time while I was in Latin America, and I started trading about 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. It all started, I think, from Bitcoin. A friend introduced me to Bitcoin in 2014, something like that. I've just actually looked back at my first Bitcoin transaction. It was 950 Aussie dollars, which is about $700 US, right? It's my first time I bought BTC. So that gives you a bit of a gauge on how long I've been in the space for. And then there's been normal trading as well after that. So since then, I've also been trading the ASX, been buying normal stocks, left, right, and center. And it's been sort of an income stream, an extra income stream for me while I was traveling, which is really good. But also now, I've just been working 2 jobs for the last 6 months, which has been insane. So for those of you that don't know as well, I work for, I've just quit. I've just quit last Monday, my second job, basically to trade full time and to do this. So that's sort of where my passion comes from. And that's how serious I am. And we'll get into how serious you are in a moment about trading. So I was working for a securities firm here in Surfers Paradise in the Gold Coast. They're called Fibonacci Securities. Shout out to my old boss. Awesome, brother. Love you forever. But it's time that I go. And my second job, I actually work for the biggest cryptocurrency regulator in the world. namely Chainalysis. Okay, and I just work there on the data ops team. I can't say too much more than that because it's pretty high profile. Our biggest clients are basically governments all around the world and very big institutions. And it's basically blockchain tracking software that they buy from us. So I help out there. So you could say I'm deep in crypto. On the side then, there's also trading. So the last 6 months has been insane trading. My account's blown up ridiculously. I can't barely breathe. But also in the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to figure out what I want to do here, trying to get a video out to you guys. So here it is. So yeah, there's a few things why I want to do it. I really want to help you guys as well. So as I was mentioning before, I've got friends asking me always, what do you do, Luca? What do you do? So I'm explaining to them, they don't get it. So those people that do get it, and I know it's mostly men inside this group. There's a few girls, which is kudos to you girls. But it's a mostly male-dominated sector. Trading and finance and numbers, it's mostly males. So what I want to do is get into the whys of why I'm here, why you're here as well. So I want to make money, not going to lie. I'm here to make cash. And I'm sure you are too, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Okay, so making cash, extra income stream for me, and it will be for you as well. It's exactly the same for me as it is for you. Okay, what else? We've got, what are your goals? What do you want by the end of this year? Most of you have full-time jobs, I would imagine, or I've got some high school students in here as well, and university students, 21, 22 years old. That was me. That was me back in the day, hanging out, not doing much, but then finding little income streams, and this is a great way to start. Throw some money in. As soon as you throw a little bit of money in, you care about it. You know what I mean? You care about that money that's inside. So then you do the research. What the fuck company did I just buy? You know what I mean? I've done it plenty of times before. My mate said, "Oh, jump on this stock, man. It's gonna go. It's hot. Let's hit it, bro. It's gonna take off. I heard from my uncle, sister's dog's cat that it's gonna be awesome." So I buy it, and I'm like, "What the fuck did I just buy?" So I start researching the company afterwards. But what's that doing? That's at least getting me. Don't do that. But it's at least getting me, interested in what I bought at least. So I wouldn't recommend that. I would do my own research first before you buy anything. At least look at the chart, which is what we're going to get into in a moment. And then So I know I'm blabbing on, but top 3 reasons why I'm here. Income stream for me. Money, obviously number 2. Starting my own brand, right? And also because I generally care about you guys and I would like to help you find your way out of the rat race, which is probably the biggest one of all. Okay, nobody wants to be in this rat race forever. We all know it's a rat race. If you want to sit inside your 9-to-5 job getting 40, 50 grand a year, that's fine. I just quit mine and I ain't going back. Okay, I refuse to go back. I can make enough online by myself, okay, instead of going back to that shitty job, just not happening. So anyway, what do you guys want? Do you want to lose your job? Do you want to lose the debt you might have? Do you want to pay for a new car? Would you like to get a deposit for a mortgage? Would you like to buy a boat? Would you like to save up 20 grand to go overseas for a couple of months, which is exactly what I did. Before I left, I was like, you know what? I'm going to save a little side kitty of 20 grand. I put it on my wall and I said, I'm going to have 20 grand by Christmas of that year. And hey, I did. And I went overseas and it was amazing. So that was my goal at the point. I have new goals now. That was 4 years ago, something like that. What are your goals? Why? I want you to write down why you're in this group, what you're looking for to get out of me, help me give that to you. So all I want to do here is give you the tools to go get it yourself, because no one gave me the tools. I learned, I'm a YouTube prodigy. I'll put my hand on oath and say I'm a YouTube prodigy as well. I don't know if prodigy is the right word, but I'm a YouTube sensation, meaning I learned everything from YouTube, and I will be a YouTube sensation in the future via providing you content, hopefully one day. So please write down if you're serious. Are you fucking serious? Do you seriously want to make cash in this market? This market has never happened before. This time we're living in right now, in this extraordinary bull market that we're in, has actually never happened before. Look back in history, look back at the charts. It's all there for you. I've given you TradingView. Jump on TradingView, type in the Dow Jones, type in ASX 200, have a look at history, how fast this bull run has gone, right? That hasn't happened before. So that's why I'm so interested and so engaged in my trading lately, is I don't actually have that much time to come and provide too much content just yet, but I will in the future, and I want to, and it's going to happen. But at the moment, look for yourself. I urge you to go and have a look. What are the percentages or numbers that we've just come out of this pandemic, right? Hope I don't get banned for that. This pandemic that we've just come out of has been insane. It's unprecedented, and it's just like, it's a bit strange. It was a bit ironic and funny to me how we came out of that pandemic so far and so fast. You know, the Trump's famous saying, it was a super V. It was a fucking super V. And it was a super V. It was insane. And we're still coming out of it. But beware, I think we are going to crash at some point, and we're going to land on our ass at some point. So in this market, keep your wits about you. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is please write this down. What you want. Do you want the house deposit? Do you want the new motorbike? Do you want the new car? Do you want the overseas trip? Do you just want to save up for the sake of saving up? Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Write it down, put a number on it, and put it on your wall. It'd be nice if you put a date on it. It's a little bit hard for trading, I know, but if you want, put a date on it. Make it as specific as possible. I want to really revolve my whole channel around personal finance, learning about how to create a second income stream, a third income stream, and become wealthy. There's someone being rich, and there's another thing is being wealthy, okay? And that's what I'd like to share with you guys, how I'm becoming wealthy. I'm not saying I've got $1 billion in the bank and I'm, riding Ferraris around yet. I will one day, but not yet. But hey, let's go on the journey together. Let's get to this top of the mountain together. And I think we can share a beer at the top, eh? Let's do it. All right, so let's jump into some TA now. After you've written down, pause the video, write down what you want, write down how much you've got, write down how much you want to multiply it by, and just have it in front of you every day. Just watch what it does to you. I know it's all this voodoo, psychological fucking, what's the book called? Fuck. I don't know. The Power of Now or some shit like that. Yeah, I forgot what it is, but it's the book. It's like a red cover, and yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it works. It works. No, it works. It actually does. Write it down, put it in front of you, put it in your mirror when you brush your teeth in the fucking morning or at night. Just fucking stare at that number. Be like, cunt, I gotta get to that fucking number. What am I doing here brushing my teeth still? And then you start hustling. You know what I mean? You start hustling. So anyway, just do that. Then we'll jump into some TA. Go write it down now. Alright, so hopefully you've written down your fucking number. Put it on your mirror, okay, in front of your toothbrush, wherever you want to do it, or in the toilet, wherever you spend the most time. If you're the most time in the toilet, put it there. If you're the most time in the fucking balcony, if you're most time, I don't know, in the lounge room, write it there so you see it. It works, guys. It really does. Alright, so over to some TA. Now, before we jump into this spaz attack of cutting shapes, we'll jump back over to a basic chart here of BTC. So today, guys, I want to teach you what a lot of people are asking me. How do you draw the lines, Luca? Where the fuck do they go? Great question, because I didn't know when I started either. But guys, it's not too hard. Okay, this is Bitcoin's chart. Where am I? I'm on I think it's 3 months. Let's just go 3 months anyway. Looks like it is. Yep, it's about 3 months. That'll do. So this is a fresh chart. Okay, I've just opened up a new one. Now, we'll talk about channeling. Number one, channeling. Drawing a support and a resistance line. Simple as that. That's where you want to start. So number one, also guys, I forgot to mention, I had Jacob message me this morning. Hey bro, which package should I take on TradingView? You don't have to pay. It's free. Okay, it should be free. I only paid for it the first time this year because I felt like I deserved it, and I think it was time. Okay, it's been 6 years. I've made enough money to pay the $200 or $300 to get the pro version. But guys, you don't need the pro version. It's fucking free. Okay, now that that's put to rest. So here's your tools on this left-hand side here. So first one you want to go to, you've got trend line here. This is the only one basically to be using. You can use the horizontal ray if you want. But trend line just lets you go from point A to point fucking B. Okay, boom. Let's open this up a little bit. I'm gonna move me a little bit down. So there is your support line for this trend. This is a trend happening right now. See, it keeps bouncing up, bouncing off this line, coming up, bouncing off this line, and all of a sudden it's taken off this line. So this is called a support line. Okay, if you want to draw the resistance line, which is obviously at the top, it won't go past this level. What I like to do is I right click on it and I just click clone. That just clones it on the exact same angle that this is obviously already on. If you really want, you can go over and select a new line and draw it again, but it's hard to find sometimes. See, it fucks with you a bit and you can't get the exact same line. See, it's a little bit, oh, that was pretty spot on, but look, that's a fluke. Doesn't usually happen, just clone it. So let's go here. It looks like it's trending inside. It's come out of here, right? It's come into here, bounced. As soon as you do this first bounce, you can also see that there's a double bottom here as well. This is what you call a double bottom. Bounces off the same value twice. So here's a second tool you can use. Go over to the horizontal ray and click. That just draws a line from here to the end. No matter where you scroll across, it's always going to be there, horizontal ray. So now forever it's going to be there because you can see it's bounced off like this value maybe, right? Twice. That's called a double bottom. So look out for those. There's also double tops. There's head and shoulders. There's all sorts of shampoos here. Okay. So there's your trend line, right? It's come into here. It's bounced once, bounced twice. That's confirmed a new trend coming upwards. So support and resistance. You could say, this is Bitcoin, you could say we're still inside it. Look at that. This is where we are right now. Move this up. Remember, this is all hocus pocus. You can decide and come up with your own formula on what's going on. Because these pro traders, I've realized, everyone has their own idea of what's going on. It's not one system that's set. Remember, I just made that up right now. You know what I mean? I could go through and zoom in even closer and say, all right, here's a trend. Here's a trend happening right, you know, here, from here to here. There's a little trend, depending on where you're zoomed in from. You know what I mean? There's a trend right there. And it's broken out of the trend and come up over this trend line, hasn't it? And we'll talk about that in a minute, how it breaks out. So that's an example of it not being one thing, because I think that's where a lot of people get confused is how do I know what's right and how do I know what's wrong? It's just like life. Whatever you think's right is right, whatever you think's wrong is wrong, and that's literally up to you. But there are some basic bounds around it, and I'm just showing you the bounds. So there's your trend line, guys. There's your double bottom, it's bounced off. So all we've learned is trend line, horizontal ray. If you really want to throw an arrow in there, you can throw an arrow and be like, all right, this guy's going up, right? Draw that in for your own purposes. Or if, you know, even if you want to draw it here and say, okay, I think Bitcoin is going to go this way next, right? Then we might come back down this way, you know, and you can start to guess where it might go if you really want to leave those on there. Download this on your phone as well, because that's literally all I live on, is I watch all my stuff on my phone all the time. So what else do we have here? We have extended line. nothing else really that is for you guys to worry about at the moment. Okay, it's just those couple. So you've got your paintbrush here. So paintbrush as well allows you to doodle, right? This is what I think the stock's gonna do. Go nowhere, right? Delete that. You can draw. I've done that a few times. You might have seen on my charts how I think, okay, we're coming here. We're gonna retest this trend line, and then we're gonna smash through 50K and go higher, which, hey, take a screenshot of that. That might happen, right? Kudos to me. So what else do we have? We've got a rectangle. I use these a lot. I use these for target areas. Okay, so it might draw a little target area there. Click, drag this thing up. If you can drag it into this area where I think Bitcoin or whatever stock you would like to analyze with technical analysis, I think we're gonna hit here. Simply because we've gone into this level, we've gone into the next range. We took a big dump yesterday. That was a huge stinky dump. And look where we are, we're back up here. We could be up in this region soon. So you wanna draw that in, you can, and see if you're right. That means we're in the 50K level. Let's get our horizontal ray, and I like to draw, there's 50K, boom, or 49999, close enough. There's 50K just to keep it in bounds, so it's within your sights to see exactly where 50K is on the chart. It's not very far away, guys, and that is going to hit headlines when it hits it, don't worry. So anyway, that is channeling, okay? That is finding a channel, drawing your support, where it finds support, and where it finds resistance. Okay, simple as that. So what I've done now is I've just zoomed in to the 5-day chart, okay? Just hit 5 days down here. This is the 5-day chart on what BTC's done. Now, you all might have seen me post yesterday, buy the dip, because this, you think it's a dip, it's not even a dip, but it was a good entry point. If any of you got in down here, great. If you got in somewhere up here, that's fine. That's insane if you got that. But as soon as you see this bouncing, anywhere in this area would have been fine. I know a few of you asked me. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you, but I was worrying about my own trading and trying to buy this dip as well. Okay, so bought in somewhere down here. This isn't my chart, so I don't have all my stuff on it. This is a educational chart. So anyway, down here would have been fine. Look, it's just taken another dip today. We might exhaust all of these dips because it's come back and tested this area. See this 47,000 level? Then you start to realize, what are these important levels? Can you see 47 has been hit multiple times and it's bounced off it? Look at that. It's taken off out of 47. It broke through. Maybe this is a level as well, obviously, 46. But 47 seems to be hit many times. So what I would personally do, I'm just going to go over here, grab my horizontal ray again, and smack down a ray on 47. See, it's dipped below it slightly, yes. But the main point of where it's stopping, you could say, is that 47 level. If you really want, you can draw it down to where it hits most, 46,900. But as you can see, it's hit it a few times, right? It's dipped down here and hit it a few times. That is a level to look out for. So if you're sitting here worrying say Bitcoin dips again, right? And it's coming down in this area right here. Let's move this thing over. It's coming down in this area here, for example. And you're like, okay, shit, where are we going to next? You know, it bounced off this area last time. It's bounced off this area multiple times in the last couple of days. There's support there at 46,900 or even at worst here, 46,600. Okay, looks like it's somewhere in this area. Remember, it's all hocus pocus. Draw your own lines in and find out where exactly you think there's support. I know there's support at 46. Just remember that for the next time Bitcoin comes in this area. Okay, the same goes for historical Bitcoin price action back here. Look, 44,000 or 43,000 239, whatever it is. Bounced off that. This is a very slow computer, and it took off through that. See it? It found resistance here. Yeah, so you could say that was not a natural, simply Bitcoin price action move. That was an external, fundamental, or purely fundamental factor that made that happen. So, you know, you wouldn't count those things. Say the CEO of some company died, right? The price goes down. You wouldn't count that as a, you know, as a price action move on the chart, obviously. But hey, this couldn't, maybe you can disclude this as well, because this is Elon, this was half Elon, you know, because it kept going. Maybe this whole thing you don't really count. It's up to you. So you also just need to remember that as well sometimes, because it's gone from the bottom of this channel straight to the top of this channel, you know. So maybe that was overbought. Maybe so many people FOMO'd in that it was overbought, and all the smart people started selling up here. So then, you know, we could have easily come back down into this area, and I wouldn't have thought it was weird. You know, everyone goes, oh, Bitcoin crashed. No, it didn't. It just went up too fast and has corrected accordingly. Simple as that. But look what happened. It's given us a double bottom here at this 44 level and taken off. So all in all, let's zoom out again back to 1 month. Take these support and resistance levels as an indicator of if you should buy at that time, right? Because at the moment we're sitting smack bang, you could say smack bang in the middle of these two lines, right? You could get in, it could take off higher into this zone, or we could come back down and test this area down here, right? You could easily say we could come back down to a worst case of 45,000, still on the cards to come down to. And then you get into real crashes. Once a real crash happens, you'll see Bitcoin come out of this trend zone and down here somewhere. Okay, so remember, we're on the, let's go to the daily chart first before we start talking about that. So we go to the daily chart. So each bar is a day, right? Puts things into perspective, doesn't it? So look how many days, hasn't been that many days that we've gone from bloody 30 grand to 50 grand. So you also need to consider these things, right? You look at your trend and go, wow, that's pretty steep. You know, look at the other one as well. This is also very steep. To be honest, we're in a bull market. We're in a bull market / bubble. That's what I would say. So make no mistake. Keep that in mind while investing at the moment. Yeah, keep that in mind. See, we boosted out of this zone. This could have been then you start having them cross over. Yeah, so this was a support just here. Sorry, this was a resistance that we couldn't get through. If it sticks, we could not get through this. Yep, you get the point. Trying to draw it straight, but it won't go straight. That was the resistance, and you could say that the trend was here somewhere along here, and it's boosted out of this trend, and that's when you know, okay, there's your buy signal. Let's buy here because you know it's going higher. And hey, if you bought there, look what happened. We went on a tear. That's out of $20,000 actually. Sorry, that was a very, very big point in Bitcoin history of when it broke out of 20 and went to 22, and it sat at 23. I remember for a week or two. It sat there. These are daily candles, right? So there's about a week. Sat at 23 for ages and then decided to keep moving. Choo all the way up, and then obviously found resistance here at this 41 level, 42 level, and we've come back down. So draw another trend line, right? Remember, this is super rough and super elementary, but it's how I learn as well, and this is all you start doing. I remember doing this, sitting here going, all right, which way are we going? When are we coming out of this channel? You know, you could say maybe it's a bit more on this angle, right? Wherever it is, you can see that. That's channeling. As soon as you know it's boosted out of its channel, we're going higher. So all I'm waiting for really is for us to move past 50 And I think, man, are we going to 62K? I don't know. Are we going? That's where a lot of people think we're going to. I hope we do. But I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down into this 40 level and hang out down here. Simply because we did that before. Look, we've come down. We needed to relax. We needed more people to get in. We needed a bit more heat behind the pump, if that makes sense. You need the heat, you know. Then we come down. We could go high. We could just keep going. We could keep going to 62K. I know at 62K is a level, so just keep that in your mind. Might just draw it in there with my horizontal ray. Where are you? Horizontal ray. 200. That's close enough. Alright guys, another quick tool is if you want to get rid of this and clear your mind, come down here, click, and everything leaves. So you can just sort of zoom out and go, alright, hold on, get all this shit out of the way. Let me just see what it looks like. Is this right? You know, because maybe this doesn't exist yet and you're only here. You know, where are we going next? Are we going to keep coming down here? Or are we going to go up? You don't know if that's there just yet. And then you start to see this candle, and then you've broken the trend line. See that? After this candle, you broke the trend line up. Big long wick. And then we're moving up. Okay. You can just turn that back on just down there. Yeah. Cool. Alright guys, so the last thing I'm going to teach you today, I've already taught you some basics. Trend line, channeling, resistance and support bands, or support and resistance bands. That's basically where you should start. Teach you one more thing that is, I use it all the time. It's a basic tool. It sounds crazy, but it's so basic, and it really lets you have a gauge of where the stock's going to go, where the stops are going to be, and where the next target actually is. And that's called the Fibonacci Retracement tool, you could say. Look up who Fibonacci was. There's Fibonacci numbers found everywhere in nature, and those numbers also work in trading extremely well. Okay, so jump over here and come down to Fibonacci Retracement. Now, how do you draw it? The thing that people get wrong a lot. So take the top of the last high. Let's say this doesn't exist here yet. Let's say, well, it's going to come out. Hold on. Just delete that. That's it. Let's say this doesn't exist just yet, and you don't know where we're going. Grab the fib retracement. Remember, we're on the daily candles, so this is just an example. Grab the top of the last high. Move that to the bottom of the low. Let's say we think this is the low because it's hit it twice. Once, twice. And click again. And that's it. Yours is going to look a bit different. It's got colors inside it. I've just changed mine. You can just go to settings, just here on your fib retracement, and change the colors up if you really want. I've just moved my colors off because they're a bit annoying. And here's your fib retracement. So what I like to do is I move this all the way across to see where we're moving to. All the way across. Now, let's just zoom out. Let's see if this fib retracement tool actually works. And I haven't even drawn it here before. This is the first time. Did not plan this or anything. Look at how well it keeps these levels. So you've got this level here, which is obviously 0. Then you've got the 2, 3, 6 right here. And as you can see, it tried to get through a few times and struggled. Then it sat between these two, then boosted through. It didn't really keep it in this area, didn't really keep it much at all. But you could say it bounced off this 768 level and it's boosted higher. And look, magically, where is it? It's sitting at this 1.618 level. It's sitting just above it, bouncing on it. Right, that's Fibonacci. I know it's a bit confusing because there's these, we drew these horizontal rays in. We can just delete those. Delete the boxes out of there. Gets a little bit clearer for you. But look where it's sitting. From this dip, it's predicted that it's going to sit up here at the 618. So as soon as you know that it crosses the old high here, as soon as it's crossing, if it dips out It's coming back up, and this is happening on a lot of stocks, a lot of cryptos and stocks. Comes back up to try and test its old high. As soon as you see it passing its old high, you know it's going to the 1.618. It's going up here most of the time. I'm not going to say every time, but this is a trading tool, and it's freakish how well it works. So use that in your repertoire of tools, guys. And you can see where we're going next. We're going to 57,000, 68,000. I forgot why 62 is, but it must be another time that a fib retracement level has been drawn. Remember, you can draw this on any dip, on any little dip. Obviously make it a major one. As you can see, this is a major dip in the last Bitcoin rally, and I would use this one as Bible. You know what I mean? You wouldn't go and use, I don't know, you wouldn't go and use this little thing, because remember, we're on the daily. If you change that to the hourly, this looks a whole lot bigger, you know? Let's wait for it to load, and you can probably see what it looks like. Move across. Look, all of a sudden, you can probably define a little bit better. Look at this. You can define it better that it's bouncing right off this level that Fibonacci has drawn for us. Fibonacci bounced off here. Actually, it's way better now that I've drawn into the hourly. It's way better. Bounced off the old high here. You could say, move that a bit higher. You can move it around afterwards as well. You could say it's bounced off the old high, come back down to this 618 level, and then taken off. Right? Use the Fibonacci. It'll do you wonders. Okay, so there are some advanced, not really advanced, but using a Fibonacci tool, you could say you're semi-trading now. Okay, so draw your trend lines in, use your fib retracement band there, retracement tool, and you're going to be in business. All right, that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Throw the comments in the comments, if you know what I mean. Okay, if you have any questions, if you have any requests on things you would like me to cover, throw them in there. I'll consider it. And if you have any questions about the video, throw them in there. If I'm not clear, I know I ramble, but that's me. All right, have a good day, guys. Lots of love.